You're watching On Demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
On your Tuesday's Loose Women Live, it's Jane Moore, Linda Robson, Sue Cleaver and Mylene Class.
Hello and welcome to Tuesday's show. Coming up, as it's revealed that young women are ditching the pill and using their phones to track their fertility, we're asking if the pressure is still on women to take control of safe sex in a relationship. At 1:45, Big Brother presenter Will Best is here. He's going to be telling us why best mate AJ Adudu is part of the reason he co-presents the show, and he'll be telling us about his new job, which involves waking us all up on a Sunday morning. Yep, good luck with that, Will. And mum's the word, as it's reported that Cindy Crawford is partly to blame for her daughter's breakup. Is it ever OK to be a meddling mum when it comes to your kids' relationships? But before all of that, yesterday, Glasgow made history when it opened the doors of the UK's first legal drug consumption room. Now, the facility will allow drug addicts to take substances under medical supervision. It's being funded by the Scottish Government, and they say the aim of the centre is to help drug users access wider support, as well as reduce the risk of viruses. The law stands firm on those found in possession of illegal drugs, but users at the so-called drug room wouldn't be prosecuted. This is quite a diversion. We've not had this before in this country. What are your views on it, Mylene?
So with the charity work that I've done, I've seen these kind of rooms in other countries. And I get why there must be a lot of warning signals for a lot of people. You know, who in their right mind is going to want that at the bottom of their road or near their school? Saying that, I think it must be indicative of where the Scottish Government feel they've reached. They must have exhausted all other avenues. And ultimately, what's the alternative? Do you want drug paraphernalia at the bottom of school playgrounds or in car parks or in playgrounds? So if this makes sure that it's consolidated and at the end of it there's help, there's an overview of who is visiting. And also let's remember that the dial has moved as to what a drug addict looks like. It's not necessarily people in shop doorways. You know, some people who will be using this facility will then be going on to work. You know, drug users take many forms because of lots of different scenarios that life has hit them with. So I think that we complain if the government does something, we complain if the government doesn't do something. Hopefully, this will change.
Yeah. I mean, as you say, clearly they feel that there's a need for it. I mean, my concern would be if it, and I'm assuming that this is what they're going to do, is that once they've got them into this room, they can then say to them, OK, let's look at the reasons behind why you're in this situation. Can we help you? You know, which is obviously better than trying to get access to them when they're sort of out and about on the streets. But, Sue, what's your view?
I think it has to be a good idea in the sense that, you know, if it's going to create safer practice, if people are not going to die in the street by taking... from what I understand, it's like they are still going to be bringing in their drug of use and it will be screened to see what's in it, but there will be medical people there to act if there was an overdose.
Yeah, I don't think they are going to screen the drug.
No.
But obviously what they do is provide clean...
But it's going to... If it's going to stop people dying, then that you know, obviously that makes sense. I do hope it is going to be followed up with signposting, with, you know, with information and access to detox, to housing, to social care, to mental health care. Because at the end of the day, it's going to free up resources. The amount of ambulances that are called to drug overdoses in the street is going to free up those resources. I mean, I have my daughter-in-law is a paramedic, and I know how often, you know, they're called out to that. So, yes, I hope so. But I think it'll only work if they get the community on board.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Linda,
I think
what
at
about
least
you?
they're trying. I mean, you walk along the high street every day. I mean, I know most of the people that are sleeping in doorways now and everything. There's a man called Tom that we go and visit outside a bakery every day. And now even the bakery's not charging because they know that he wants a cup of hot chocolate and a cake or whatever. And it is an addiction at the end of the day. And at least they're trying to do something about it because but for the grace of God, that could happen to any one of us, you know, like... And I've seen firsthand. I mean, I travelled around America a few years ago with a programme called Gone to Pot, which showed the benefits of medicinal cannabis and not so good for the recreational cannabis. But it was stopping this little girl that was having up to 90 seizures a day, stopping the seizures and everything, even Parkinson's.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit... The medical
yeah.
issue is a whole sort of separate one. But we've had quite a mixed bag of comments on this. Susie, the problem is the dealers. I don't know what the answer is to help people get off this stuff. It's evil. So many young lives are lost to drugs. Any way to keep someone safe, I understand. Kelsey, it's about as useful as a chocolate kettle. What a waste of money. She's talking about the drug consumption rooms. And Jade thinks it's a brilliant idea. So, yeah, I mean, mixed views.
I don't know about you, but walking through the city, the amount of discarded needles that you see, and, you know, that it's always a worry to see that when you've got young kids, so... But
we definitely need to tackle the reasons why they're becoming addicts. A new study conducted by NASA, very official, has discovered that women are more likely to hide their tiredness than men, who make it quite obvious when they're feeling fatigued. So is it time we women fessed up to being exhausted? How tired are you, Sue?
Do you know what? I'm the exception to the rule. Because I'm like, I'm tired! I'm really tired! Help me! So I don't hide it at all.
Do you do that with your other half? Or do you get, like, into competitive tiredness?
Yes, of course, I'm really tired. Yes, I do. I think what I used to... What I have noticed, like, I used to have that 2 o'clock in the morning, if I woke up and I knew I had a busy day the next day, I used to wake up and then lie there going... I'm not sleeping, I've got to get to sleep, I've got to get up in 4 hours and, oh, I won't be able to do this. And then now I realise that, you know, I will be OK. Even if I haven't slept, you usually can get up and you can get on with the day and you do manage it. And all that angst about worrying about the sleep, about not sleeping, was the thing that was keeping me awake. So I've got a lot better in that. But sleep hygiene, as they call it now, very trendy. Yeah, I am during the week. I want to be in bed at 9:30, watch a bit of telly. I want the lights out by 10:30. My husband is the opposite. He doesn't come to bed often till like 2:30 in the morning and gets up at 7. So, but yeah, I think women, a lot of women do hide their tiredness, especially mums.
Do we hide it, or is it that it just doesn't really get noticed? Do you know what I mean? Because I think, sweeping generalisation, obviously there are a lot of men that can multitask, but generally women in the house, we're the hub. Yeah. We're the hub that runs the house. We do this, we do that. So people are just used to us coping with lots of different things and maybe don't notice that we might be feeling a bit tired. What do you think,
Oh, gosh,
Molly?
in my house, it's definitely the case, because, like, last night, I went to bed really late because I was waiting for my teenage daughter to come home. But then at the other end of the spectrum, I've got a 5-year-old and he's up at the crack of dawn. So that's my little window of sleeping. And I think... You know, gone are the days now when it was a flex to say, oh, I'm going on 4 hours sleep, because you've got a whole generation now that know that it's not OK to work that way. And the new flex is I got 9 hours. I've never said that, by the way. I don't remember the last time I got 9 hours, nor will I.
You dream of getting 9 hours.
Yeah, but it's just, no one told me that. I thought when my teens are off and out, that I don't know why I thought that, they'd be off and out. But then I'm worried about them coming back in. Are they safe? When that door goes... I can sleep.
Yeah.
But I just think, the new worry is people then say that all these new diseases you'll get if you're not sleeping and all the health worries. So now I worry about the worry. I just need to sleep.
You just worry. You just worry. What about you, Lynn? How are you? How is your sleeping, first
I don't think I need as much sleep now as I did when I was younger, because when I was younger, I'd be out until 11, 1, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I'd come in and I'd lay until 11 o'clock the next day. But now I don't think I need that much sleep. So normally I go to bed probably about 11. I'll take my laptop up with me and I fall asleep watching something on Netflix or whatever. So I think I have about 6 or 7 hours sleep a night, and that's enough for me.
See, because people say you should never have screens in the bedroom.
I know, yeah, but it helps me fall asleep. sleep. I watch a load of old rubbish, yeah, it does, just to bore me and send me to sleep.
Yeah, it's... but do you ever feel tired in the day, and do you say so if you do, or is it like a badge of honour to just keep
going? You just get on with it, don't you, really?
Yeah.
I can't go to bed until everything's clean, the draining board's cleared, everything's done, then I can go to bed knowing that when I come down in the morning, everything's nice and tidy.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned the main problem. Sorry, the thing that it's the worrying about not sleeping, not the not sleeping itself, that is the issue, really.
Yeah. I mean, I work very well at like 5 or 6 in the morning. That's when my brain works. And then as the day goes on, it's just downhill all the way as she gets halfway through a sentence. Right. Still to come, as Brooke Shields admits her low sex drive left her feeling out of sync with her husband, we're asking how important intimacy really is in later life. But before that, Will Best, you're live on ITV1. Please do not swear. Big Brother host Will is here telling us all about his new show and why he's turned to therapy to combat his anxiety. Welcome back. Still to come, we're discussing hormonal contraception and a lack of libido. That's at 1 o'clock. And would you have what it takes to make a good detective? We're sharing our own spy stories later on. But it's competition time now, and you could win £10,000 a month for an entire year. Woo! Yes, Josie is live in France for us. What are you up to today, Josie?
Hello, ladies. Well, today I'm having a nice, relaxing day because I've been up to all sorts. I've tried a bit of skiing, I've tried a bit of sledging, and last night I found the apro at Coco Rico's. It was amazing. I was dancing on the table. I had more moves than Shakira or Beyonce. It was just incredible. What a night. What an absolute night. They say is about work hard, play hard. But with this competition is all about play because we're going to be injecting £10,000 every month for 1 whole year into a competition winner's account. So imagine looking at your bank statement and having £10,000 extra in cash, yours to spend on whatever you like. Just imagine all the destinations that you could go with £10,000 a month extra into your account. It's totally tax-free, so it's all yours to spend on whatever you like. If you want to enter, here's all the details you need.
For another chance to win £10,000 a month for a year, text cash to 81119. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 78 11119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY01 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over, and lines close on Friday the 31st of January at 3 p.m. Good luck!
How embarrassing. I've just got told it's après, not apro, OK? But I am a little bit hungover, so I shall be staying in this pool for the rest of the day. But just think how much your life could change with £120,000 split over the year. You could travel to all these destinations. It'd be amazing. So good luck. Back to you in the studio, ladies.
Oh, we love you, Josie. It looks a lot more fun than what she was doing yesterday, that ice diving. Goodness me. Right, our guest today started his career presenting on teenage Telestrand T4 back in 2011. Flash forward to 2023, and he's teamed up with best mate AJ Adudu to present Big Brother with a new celebrity series very soon. So here to talk friendships, relationships, and starting out in TV, it's Will Best. Right.
Hello. Great song choice. No one's ever done that. That is a great song choice.
Yeah, now...
Hiya, you all right? You good?
We have a loose women virgin in our midst. How does it feel?
Nerve-wracking.
No, he's not a virgin. It's his first time on the show.
I thought that's what we were discussing. I've got some big revelations to make today. No, it's my first time, and this is quite a moment for me because when I was at uni, I watched Loose Women every day. Like, literally every day. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of hours of the show. So being on here is very surreal. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, welcome. Well, we'll talk about everything that you're doing on telly in a minute. But the first thing I wanted to ask you, it's a very strange career that you've gone for, given your sort of general anxiety about a lot of things.
Yeah. I don't know why I do it. It's funny, like, the busier I've got, and over the last couple of years, it's been amazing, but I do now live in a permanent state of terror. It's quite...
What, that's all going to come to an end?
Well, yeah, that. Well, there's that, and then there's just terror about just generally, like,
people saying horrible things.
People saying horrible things, which you guys aren't going to do that.
No.
And, just the general anxiety around it. But you're right.
Did you have it before?
Yes. I've always had, like, issues with anxiety, yeah.
But this has heightened it.
This has massively heightened it.
Oh.
I'm waiting for it to subside and for it to get easier, but maybe it won't.
But you're having therapy.
Well, yeah. So before the launch of the first Big Brother reboot series, I got EPMD therapy, which is eye movement, something beginning with D therapy.
Right.
And it was... But I did it for a very specific reason, so it was recommended by a friend of mine.
Desensitisation, apparently.
Is that what it is?
Apparently.
Can you spell that? That's it.
Desensitisation.
Oh, right, OK, yeah, OK. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's like a specific thing for overcoming not general anxiety, but kind of quite focused anxiety. And I had this terrible fear before the launch of Big Brother that on the launch night, I was going to get a really dry mouth. Like, specifically, that was my worry. So I did this type of therapy that kind of disassociates you with negative thoughts associated with specific scenarios, and I didn't get a dry mouth. But I did also drink loads of water, so I don't know.
So you helped yourself with a practical measure as well.
Exactly.
What about exposure therapy? Because I'm all for exposure therapy.
Oh, what's that?
It's when you just face your fear.
Yeah.
OK.
So get the dry mouth and then go, oh, look.
It's fine.
Yeah.
People get dry mouths.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
But did you... So you say you've had it for as long as you can remember. So you had this as a child, this feeling of anxiety?
Yeah.
And where do you think it's come from?
I don't know, because I've not done a lot of, like, talking therapy where they might find a sort of root cause. I don't know. It's just always... My mum is quite an anxious person, and they do say, actually, it is genetic. Like, there's something in your DNA. My mum's a real worrier. You know, she doesn't sleep great because she's worrying about things, or she'll phone in the morning. I couldn't sleep last night because I was worried about whatever it is that I'm doing.
You talked as well that you suffered from health anxieties, the hypochondria thing. Has that been from a small child?
Yeah.
Or can you remember, was there a time when it started, or do you think you sort of... You inherited that a bit from your mum, or saw her?
Well, my dad's a hypochondriac.
Right,
famously.
OK.
He used to have one of those big medical
You had no
encyclopedias.
chance. No.
I know, dude. Blame the parents.
Your mum
it's their fault. They're terrible. Maybe that was kind of somewhere in my background. But I remember as a kid, I think when I sort of discovered what, like, cancer was, and I was like, oh, that sounds bad. Oh no, I'm going to get that. So it's just always been sort of bubbling away. The health anxiety thing is something that I've been wanting to get a handle on.
And the worst thing you do now is to Google the symptoms.
Which you did, because you had bruises.
Which has a name, which apparently is now called not a hypochondriac, but a cyberchondriac.
That sounds cooler. That's a little bit more modern. Sounds a bit Gen Z. I'm into that. But you were saying now, you then worry about getting ill from worrying. Like, that's the scary thing. But I've now transferred a lot of my health anxiety to my dog.
Oh, no,
So I'm constantly checking him. He's got, like, a skin tack at the moment, and I Googled it.
Very common in dogs.
I know, but also, if you scroll all the way through Google, at the bottom, it's
Well, listen,
bad.
look,
So
tell us, before we run out of time, tell us all about your new show on Hits Radio, 9 a.m. Sunday morning.
Yeah, 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, so no more Saturday nights for me.
Straight to bed, lots of sleep.
Straight to bed, lots of sleep. I can't sleep. I'm too anxious. No, it's fun. I did the first one this weekend, just gone.
How did it go?
I think it went all right.
Yeah?
I got some nice messages from people. We had caller interaction, we played a sort of game, like getting to know you, ice-breaking game. So I did 2 truths and a lie, and the listeners had to guess. Do you want to try and guess which my... So my 3 statements were that Kesha, do you remember Kesha?
Yeah.
2010. She once wrote on my chest, pinned me to the floor and wrote on my chest in lipstick.
Right.
Number 2, Ellie Goulding told me off for being drunk at a Katy Perry concert. And number 3, I was a backing dancer for S Club 7.
Number 3.
Number 3.
You think
You're
that's
too
a lie?
scared.
That's a lie.
Why didn't you see the way I walked on? There's some movement in those hips. No? Yeah, you're right. That was a lie. That was a
Didn't
lie.
AJ recommend you for Big Brother? You were friends with him.
AJ did recommend me. It just goes to show it's who you know.
that's-
Be friends with people more successful than you,
That is
and eventually they'll take you with them.
That is a big show to step into the boots of, and you're doing it brilliantly.
Oh, thank you very much.
Celebrity one coming up. Who are we going to see?
I find out on the day, honestly. But we see the rumours, and there's been some good rumours, I think. I mean, I saw one James Corden being touted around. I don't know if he would
Who
do
would you
that.
like to see in there?
You.
Me?
Well, because we've done reality TV together. She won.
I hope you've got a beep machine.
Well, look,
It's
Louis
after
Walsh.
the watershed, so I'll be all right. I can swear as much as I want.
Exactly. That's why the please do not swear line is totally redundant. Like AJ will say, please do not swear, and then it'll cut to the house where they're all just swearing. But yeah, because you won Celebrity Coach Trip.
Yeah, I
You did
did.
Celebrity Coach.
She
No,
did.
you
Oh,
Yeah.
listen,
And even that, I spilt the beans on telly
luck.
before it came out.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck with carrying on with Hits Radio,
Thank
9
you.
a.m. Sunday. Lovely to see you. Come
Thanks
back
very
again.
much.
All the
Thanks,
best.
guys. Thank you.
Still to come, should you get involved in your child's relationship if you're unsure of its future? And is it irresponsible to rely on your phone instead of the pill? We'll be discussing the rising popularity of fertility awareness apps. That's next.
Join us as we say happy 70th birthday ITV. Our 70-plus squad is here with Gloria, Prue, Leslie and me. I know, you can't believe it.
We reveal our secrets to ageing disgracefully.
Coming soon on Loose Women.
Welcome back to your Tuesday Loose Women, keeping you company this lunchtime. Alongside me, Jane Moore, it's Linda Robson, Sue Cleaver and Mylene Class. Still to come as Brooke Shields gets candid about her low libido and the lotions and potions required for her to have sex these days. We're asking how important intimacy is to us as we get older. And do you have what it takes to be a detective? We'll be revealing the times that we've put our skills to the test at 1:15. It's always the quiet ones. But before that...
Can't be Linda, then.
Yeah. How clued up are you when it comes to contraception? New data has revealed that as more and more young women are shunning traditional contraception, like the pill, and instead opt to use fertility awareness apps that take your temperature to predict your fertility. But as the app surge in popularity, the abortion rate has increased. You use one of these apps, don't you?
I have got one of these apps. I use it more as a period tracker.
Right.
When I was going through my miscarriages and trying to get pregnant and understand when I was ovulating, it was really, really helpful because I realised that I just didn't know my body.
So, like the rhythm, it monitors the rhythm.
It tells you when you're ovulating, it tells you which days to be intimate, it tells you which days are not going to be as successful. So you start realising, actually, all these times I complained about having my period or the cramps, this is what my body was doing.
So that's showing you how to get pregnant, but would you trust
your cycles, and it's showing you when you're most likely to get pregnant.
But would you trust it to tell you to use it as OK, if you have sex right now, you're not going to get pregnant?
Well, interestingly, it became quite like the Bible for me because those 3 days, you've got only a window of opportunity, really, of 3 days. Yes, it's got to be the right 3 days and there's no guaranteed, but I did end up trusting it, but not only it. So much so that my daughters, I've encouraged them now to use apps as well so they can understand what their cycle looks like and just understand their bodies, have that autonomy over their bodies as to, right, if I am to take contraception, if it's going to be this contraception, you use it it in conjunction with the information you have, not just solely.
Yeah.
Because as I was showing, solely using it still wasn't necessarily successful. But to only rely on that, I don't think that that's going to give you the success rate you need. There'll always be the exception to the rule, but you can't just live by that one app, which is essentially still a computer or a program.
Sue?
I think, I mean, personally, with regard to contraception, it's like I wouldn't trust any app. I wouldn't trust any man. I wouldn't trust anyone. It's my body. It's my responsibility. And, we were saying earlier that we're in a position where I am able to make those decisions and have those choices. And so I would make them, no, I wouldn't trust anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're the one that bears the consequences.
Anything can go wrong, can't they? With the best will in the world, those apps are fabulous as a guide.
Yeah.
But using them as they are definitely going to make sure. No, absolutely not. That's crazy. No.
And if unwanted pregnancies are going up, then clearly something's going
not
wrong.
working.
Linda, what?
How things have changed. All them years ago, when I was 16 or 17 and I was with my first partner, I've only ever had 2 partners, but I was with my first partner and I thought, well, we're going to do the deed, obviously. So I went along to Pine Street Clinic in disguise, like Inspector Clouseau, with my hood up and everything, in case anyone saw me and told my mum that I was going on the pill.
So it's your mum you were scared of?
I was petrified of her. She's Catholic Irish, 16 years of age and going on the pill and everything. Anyway, I did go on the pill. But then time changed again, because then when Lauren started seeing somebody, I just thought it's about time that I take her. So I took her down to the clinic again, Pine Street, and put her on the pill, which didn't have to disguise this time because I just wanted to make sure that she was keeping herself safe.
Yeah. You had a bit of that, didn't you, when you were growing up? Yeah.
My mum's a nurse, and we still weren't allowed to talk about contraception, and so it's really informed who I am now as a parent. And there's no subject, none whatsoever. We will have every conversation, and including contraception, including understanding what your body's doing, and also taking responsibility for your body. I think it's so easy to say, well, this didn't work, or it's in the doctor's hands, and it's in your hands. I completely agree with what you're saying, Sue. We got the liberation of the pill. We can't necessarily always trust. Even with the greatest will, it might not be some Machiavellian plot that your partner doesn't take the pill, but ultimately, it all comes down to you. And these conversations, most definitely, they didn't happen in my house.
I think it's really important as well, and we're talking about, educating our daughters and taking control and, autonomy. Yeah, I've had the same conversation with my son when he was in London, when he was young. It doesn't matter who says what, whether they're on the pill, it can go wrong. You make the decisions for you and for what you want, and be responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. Hear, hear. OK, well, actress Brooke Shields has opened up about her sex life as a 59-year-old woman, admitting that she simply has no desire to have sex. Discussing intimacy with her husband in her new autobiography, she said, "For me to fully enjoy sex at this point, I need my lotions, potions, the right sleepwear, my special pillow, and maybe a tequila so I can relax." So, is your libido the same as it once was, Linda?
Nah, it's definitely not. What is libido?
Well,
I've forgotten what it was.
sex drive.
It was such a long time ago that I had sex that it's been well and truly gone now, so no.
But do you ever feel the urge to have sex anymore?
No,
or has
not
it
really.
left the building?
It's definitely left the building.
Yeah.
It's left the country, actually. It's definitely moved away from me, that's for sure.
Well, according to the experts, lost
I just
libido...
like my granny nightdress, that's all. Maybe that's why I've got no libido.
It's often linked to personal and professional stress, or it says also, of course, it's down to approaching the menopause, levels of oestrogen begin to fall, and, of course, that can affect libido. 40 to 70% of women experience low libido. How's yours, Sue?
Do you know what? I'm post-menopausal, and I don't have the libido that I used to have. It's like, but what really gets on my nerves now is that we've made it a thing. Your libido is a thing. It ebbs and flows. It has a natural journey through life. If you put in the word libido into Google, all that comes up is ways to fix it. There's something wrong with you if you're not having it, God knows how many times a week. But we know it ebbs and flows. And to me, libido it's not intimacy. Intimacy is something different. You know, there are intimate moments. I can have an intimate moment when my husband brings me a piece of toast in the morning and it's a surprise. And, you know, it's just we've made such a big deal out of it, and it annoys me. And if anything, that puts me off it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Mylene, you've got a 5-year-old, so I could imagine.
I think it's interesting what you said, because for me, actually, for women, it's a slow burn, isn't it? Yeah. I think all these ideas of as you said there, about tequila and setting the mood and music, it's not about those, I don't know, what, 5 minutes? It's about the whole day. It's about the cup of tea. It's about the kindness, the conversations. Put a shelf up and things are going to look way more promising for the evening. And I just think that's it. That's the foreplay. It's not just, you know, what goes on in the bedroom. It's actually what goes on in your relationship. And I think we're just not necessarily geared as a society to look at that, because it doesn't feel so enticing. But it isn't all about lace and lotion. It's about conversations, that cup of tea and some DIY.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean shelves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine there's a lot of much younger generation watching this and thinking, "God, blimey, what a you know."
No, I'm sure. I used to spend, honestly, I told you this earlier, I'm actually shocked at how much I used to spend on underwear, on lace. That's where it all used to go for me in my band days. That's where the hearsay.
Was that getting you in the mood or getting them in the mood?
I don't know. I mean, there'd be costume changes and all sorts, because it's just how, I suppose, you're geared, and it might be a different ebb or flow of your libido at that point. But then as your relationship grows, you realise that intimacy and friendship, that's, you know, it takes you to a different plane. And if you're not in the same place, then you're absolutely not going to meet in the bedroom at all. And it can really affect a relationship. So I think we should put more time into the relationship itself.
Yeah,
I can see all of these conversations tomorrow when we all come in together and someone says, "You put a shelf up." Put 2 up, actually.
The DIY stores. Anyone watching this now about, they're all off to the DIY store to.
That's the way to do it.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think in any long-term relationship, obviously short-term relationships, libido is always quite present because it's all new and exciting. But any long-term relationship, I think as long as you are both on the same page in terms of libido, then it's fine. But obviously, if you've got one person that wants it far more than the other, that's when the arguments start.
What page are you on then?
Well, mine's dormant.
Is your libido still in this country?
It's at the airport.
Oh, is it?
And I'm not sure if it's taken off or arriving. I haven't worked it out yet. I'll come back to you on that one. Yeah. Still to come, we're talking about meddling mums. And as it's revealed what key traits are needed to make a good spy, we're also revealing the instances we put our detective skills to the test. We'll see you soon. As an unearthed document reveals what it takes to be a great detective, Inspector Cleaver over there will be revealing how she turns every train journey into her very own private investigation. But it's competition time now. Back to Josie live in Tinia with the details.
Welcome back to Teen, and it is so beautiful here. Just take a look at it from the sky. You can do skiing, you can do sledging, you can do obviously the après, which I found last night was amazing. There is so much to do here. It really, really is a popular resort. But just think of all the destinations that you could go with this sort of money. We're giving away £10,000 every month for 1 whole year. Just imagine looking at your bank statement and you've got an extra £10,000 in cash, yours to spend on whatever you like. You could see the world, you could do some home renovations, you could just put your feet up and save it for a rainy day. It is all up to you. I know for sure I would definitely like to come back here. I mean, these views, it actually feels like you're in heaven. It is absolutely stunning. But to be in with a chance to win, and we do need a winner for this. And remember, with all of our competitions at ITV, there is always a guaranteed winner, and that winner really could be you. So here's all the details to enter. The very best of luck.
For another chance to win £10,000 a month for a year, text cash to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 78 119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY01 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over, and lines close on Friday the 31st of January at 3 p.m. Good luck!
£120,000 totally and utterly tax-free, spread over a 12-month period, yours to spend on whatever you like. You could choose a brand new destination every single month for a whole entire year, and all you got to do is enter. So the very best of luck. Back to you in the studio, ladies. I'm going to go for a little dip now.
Oh, thanks, Josie. Enjoy. It looks gorgeous. Now then, an unearthed wartime guide has revealed what it takes to make a great spy. Tips include being of average height, not wearing any facial disguises, and an essential skill, having good eyesight. Well, that rules me out. So would you have what it takes to make a good detective? And are you always looking for a case to solve in real life, Inspector Cleaver?
I think... would I make a good detective or spy? Well, I do know that I'm an incredibly nosy person, and there is nothing more than I love to be in a car at night, driving past people's houses when they've left the windows open, and I'm like, oh, look what they're having for tea. But yeah, I love to sit on the train or the tube, and I people watch, and I look at the book they're reading. I look at their shoes and I make all these assumptions about, you know, all the little tips, what's in their bag, So in that side of it, yes, because I'm incredibly curious and nosy, and I do love watching people. But I think the other skills that you need is, like, you need to be extremely discreet, you need to be analytical, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I am not analytical, so that part of it, no, but some parts of it, I could do it.
And also, because you're an actor, I would imagine that observing how people are is a good skill to have.
I mean, for that reason, I sit and I watch people, I get fascinated by people's movements, their tics, how they hold themselves. My husband often says to me when we're, you know, if we're out somewhere, he'll say, stop catching flies, because I'm sat there looking at someone going... just completely absorbed and obsessed with what they're doing and what they're doing with their hands and their feet, and, you know, so...
See, I think that they're two very different things, a spy and a detective, because obviously a detective's in your face trying to find things out, but a good spy to me... So if you look at Traitors, because we were saying we've all been watching it, the people you don't notice are the ones that do the best. They go under the radar, you know, whereas the quite noisy ones who are sort of in there giving their theories, people suddenly go, oh, maybe it's them, and they kill you off. What do you think, Mylene?
Oh, I mean, I'd be shocking. I'm below average in height. My eyesight is shot to pieces. I pay no attention to what people are wearing. I can't remember. I'm the polar opposite of what you do. I just can't remember what the person in front of me was doing, reading, wearing. But I think I'd be a really good spy online.
Ah, OK.
I think from a detective point of view, if my girlfriend was dating a new guy, say, I could do a deep dive in 10 minutes and I think I'd come up with the goods. Just not in real life.
Yeah. Get the old printout out of their entire life history, where their money
he's liked on. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
that.
life has probably built me that way, but yes is the answer. I think online I'd help you.
Yeah. Linda?
I did turn detective once, a long time ago, when I suspected my partner was cheating on me. So he was going out and staying out till quite late, coming home sober. So he wasn't even drinking or whatever. So he was up to something, I knew.
Oh, yeah.
So I followed him one night. I was in the car with another friend and he stopped outside this girl's house and I could see him kissing this girl at the window. But the worst thing was my sister's partner at the time was there as well, so I had to go and tell her he was cheating on her as well.
Oh.
And I was pregnant at the time as well, so it was really, really hard. But,
yeah, that's one of our favourite stories, that one. OK, supermodel Cindy Crawford is reportedly partially to blame for the breakup of her daughter Kaya's relationship with Hollywood actor Austin Butler. Look at them. Far too good-looking for their own good. Apparently, Cindy and her husband questioned Austin's intentions in the relationship after being troubled by the lack of progress. So is it ever OK to meddle in your child's relationship? I think I know the answer to this, Linda.
I think sometimes mums know best. So I have been accused of it quite a few times over the year, and I've had to take a little step back as well. I have to be told off now and again to mind my own business, and it's my daughter's children and not my children.
Yeah.
But sometimes I forget they're Lauren's and I think they're mine, really. But, yeah, so I have got in trouble quite a lot in the past. And they moved in with Lila when she was only quite young, and they lived downstairs to me and I was upstairs, and the first thing Lauren said to me was that it's my child, and if I say something, you have to stick to that. I found that very difficult, but I managed to stay, and they stayed there for 6 months and I didn't get in trouble.
But what about your children's romantic relationships back in the past? Would you tell them if there was somebody on the radar that you didn't like?
There was one person that Lauren went out with for a while, and I knew straight away he wasn't the right person. You know, you just get a sense that everything's not right there. He was a bodybuilder, loved himself and everything. But eventually, thank God, they split up, and she's been with Steve now since she was very, very young. So, but he was the one person that I've never really got on with, because I get on with all my kids' partners.
But did you say something to him or to her?
I was saying it to her and she wasn't taking any notice. But eventually she did see that he was the wrong person.
Don't you feel sometimes that when you meddle, it drives them into each other's arms a little bit more? What about you, Miley?
Exactly what happened. My parents didn't want me to see
anyone,
boyfriend or any boyfriend. And it actually made me really dig my heels in. And looking back, I wasn't really that into him. But it's that sort of Romeo and Juliet, isn't it? That forbidden love. Or then if everyone else is against us, then we'll fight for it. And I don't know what we were fighting for, but it was just my parents. And when I say there's meddling and then there's trying to control and stop the whole situation. And it's really informed. I'm sure it with the best of intentions. But it's really informed how I parent now. I think you do become the adult that you needed. And I definitely needed somebody just to not put the blockers on, because you do have to make your own mistakes. You do have to find out for yourself. I do see what my own children are doing, but I try and take a step back.
So do you feel that even if there's somebody in the picture that you're not that keen on, it's better to be a bit more sort of chilled about it, and you see it happening under your roof rather than pushing it away?
100%, everything happens under my roof, so I don't turn anybody away. Even if I think that they're not right, I don't turn anyone away. I welcome you in, because I think it should be under my roof, but also you've got to be allowed to make your own mistakes.
So
otherwise you never learn yourself.
Nobody teaches you. They teach you how to look after your kids, how to protect you, but nobody teaches you when it's time to let go. And I think that transition is one of the hardest things, from being like you're effectively their manager to them becoming having a consultancy role in their life, and only when they want it. And I did struggle with that. I found it very hard to let go and trust that he was now an adult, and he was perfectly capable of making these decisions. But, yeah, I do. When it comes to romances and things, I did a similar thing. I ran away with a sailor when I was 16. Anyway, but my parents were very wise. They actually sat back and they didn't do anything. And I was back home within 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That is the case in point.
Yeah.
Sit back and it just, goes away. That is it for today. Mylene is back tomorrow with Kelly Brook, Nadia and Christine. Until then, have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.